Okay, and it actually happened in the second map. I got a loot goblin for scarabs, so I started recording again. So this is 40C each. This is 40C because the winged scarabs on their own are 40C. So I just wanted to come back with that real quick because that was funny. Yo, what is up, guys? Joker bringing you another video for the 3.22 Trial of the Ancestors League, bringing you my first currency making strategy of the league. Per usual, since it is the first strategy, I'm doing it in a low to mid tier map with a low to mid tier investment. What do I mean by that? I'm running a tier 9 map, and it is 10 to 15C investment as of today, the 28th. I'm not gonna get stuck with that whole oh you're suppression. Rah, 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 rah. So yeah. It's roughly 10 to 15C investment per map. So I feel like people should have at this point in the league enough currency to run at least 10, 15 of this and get the strategy up and started, right? So without further ado, let's jump right into the strategy. What is the strategy? We're going to be using the seventh gate along with Harbies, Ghost, and Beyond, and the new keystone in this tide. So, how this all works together is the seventh gate is allowing us to force Beyond on the map device. And then we are going to be using Harbies to spawn a ridiculous amount of mobs, and then we're going to be using ghosties for a bunch of free quantity and rarity because they make some insane loot goblins. Like, I'll throw up a couple of clips of like some scarab explosions I've gotten where it's just like 2, 3 divs worth of scarabs. The first clip isn't even, I'm not even using any magic finding gear. And then the second clip, I threw on a couple pieces, but it's literally only Aventers and Abiscos. So it's like really not even, oh, I guess Gold Worm too. So it's really not even like a ton of magic find. It's just a little bit of magic find. But that's pretty much the gist of it, right? We're using Harbies, Ghosties, the seventh gate, Singular Focus, and Beyond. And essentially, what we're doing, flashbang warning, is we're farming for the new card, the Fortunate. This drops in any sunny map. So you're able to do this in a whole ton of different maps. I'm doing it in beach because I like beach. You can literally do it in dunes. You can do it in, I think, canyons on the map device. So any of these that are on the map device, you can do it there. Once again, I'm doing it on beach. I could probably do it on Atoll too, because I like Atoll a lot too. But yeah, and then we're essentially farming for the Fortunate. But on top of that, we're going to be receiving Tainted Orbs of Fusings and Fracturing Shards, right? As any good farming strategy, you're going to be trying to farm for more than one thing. And at my current rate, I'm receiving one Fortunate every 3 or 4 maps, and I'm just alk and balling the maps. So what we need for this is we need this sextant. Mysterious Harbingers drop additional currency shards. I've done test, and this is the only way that you really see fracturing shards drop. On top of that, you're going to be using Elder Scarabs for a bunch of extra mobs because of the fact that it pairs really well with Beyond, right? With the Endless Tide, all these additional mobs are essentially just giving you a ton of extra pack size and a ton of extra mobs. You could use this, you could also use Breach, or you could use Shaper kind of like interchangeably. All three of them would really do the same thing for you. Then we're using Polished Torment because the ghosties, once again, I'll show you the loot explosions. I've gotten multiple divines from these loot goblins because these ghosts just add so much quantity and rarity onto mobs. It's kind of insane. And then we're doing Harbies, right? So those are our 3 scarabs. And right now we're only using a 4 slot map device. So we're using 3 scarabs and the Beyond. Second flashbang warning. So it's 5C for the map device, that's static. The polished elder scarabs, which you can use rusted, I mean, or you could go higher and do gilded. But for a polished, it was 2.5 to 3C each as of now. Polished spear was 1 to 2C as of right now. Polished Harby was 2 to 3.5C each as of now. I'm going to keep saying that. August 28th. And then Mysterious Harby Sextant for 4 uses, 12 to 14C each as of now, which breaks down to 13C per map. And if you remember me mentioning, I am getting one fortunate usually every 3 to 4 maps. So the fortunate drop itself is usually covering for the 4 map set, and I don't have to worry about anything else. It covers all the costs for me in just the fortunate, and anything else is profit. So I'm going to go ahead and run a quick couple of maps here to show you for a showcase. So what I do is I could be using another sextant, but I do this just because I'm lazy. And then let me grab my sextant and my beach map. With the beach map, you're going to be infinitely sustaining. There's really no way that you're going to be able to mess it up. You may have to look at mods if your build can't do certain mods. I can kind of power through everything. So that's why I'm able to go ahead and just out not even look at the map. And hopefully there's not a King Harvey at the entrance, because if there is, it's going to be kind of crazy. But you'll okay, it's just a regular Harvey. Now, my loot filter is not the best. I just updated it, and looking at this, I'm going to have to update it again. But as you can see, with the Beyond and with the Harvey, the amount of creatures that spawns is insane. Now, to make sure that the video is not super long, I'm just going to go ahead and run through real quick. And as you can see, when the ghost jumps into it, it jumps up the rarity and quantity by a lot, like I was mentioning. Just hope you get lucky, and that can be currency, and it can drop divines, or it can be the scarabs that I showed, or it can be div cards, right? So it all depends on the type of mob it is. But all in all, okay, this is probably going to wreck my computer a little bit because there's a few. But as you can see, we've already gotten some tainted currency. Oh, this is going to be okay, there we go. That one died. But as you can see, if you look at my Bisco's leash popping off, the amount of mobs that are spawning. Oh, God, I died. I suck. Okay, but I'm going to end. I kind of want to end this showcase right there, and I'll run through the map and be right back. Okay, first map done, and it was actually kind of scuffed because, oh, I have a portal gem. Why didn't I logged because I forgot that I had a portal gem. But this is everything that I received from that first map. So with the Orb of Annulment itself, I pretty much made the cost of the map right there. On top of it, I was able to go ahead and, nope, that's one of my maps. I was able to go ahead and get all of this additional stuff. Now, you may say, oh, some of it looks like junk. Oh, some of it will not sell. That may be true, but you have to think that is a one-off. I'm going to actually run the other 3 maps of the set, and I'll be right back and show you the stash tab that I get from my, like a set of 4 maps real quick. Beyond. There we go. All right, and here we are after the 4 maps. I feel like I actually got relatively unlucky because of the fact that I would have broke relative even, right? So I got what, 12C in life force, 4C, 8C, 9C. So what is that, 16, 25, 35C, and the 4 maps all in all would have been what, about 50C. So I would have lost a little bit, but not technically because there's other stuff that I received that I'm just not counting in there that I could technically sell. I mean, if I do count the loot goblin, then I'm up like a lot. But I just wanted to go ahead and show that you're going to infinitely sustain on this, and the only things that you would have to buy the only things that you would have to buy would be the scarabs and the sextants because you're going to be dropping the maps, the elks, and the vault orbs consistently enough to infinitely sustain those three resources. So those aren't even a cost. The only thing is going to be the sextant and the scarabs, and you can get way luckier than I did. I mean, I did drop 3 gilded div scarabs from that loot goblin plus the others, so it was like a 2 div loot goblin, but we're going to ignore the loot goblin, like I mentioned. Try it, don't try it. I've had really good luck and made a lot of profit from it. Hopefully, you guys do. And like I mentioned, flashbang warning. You can go ahead and get super lucky, get a fracturing shard. You can get tainted fusings. On average, I get a fracturing shard in every 1 in 15, 16 maps with my current strategy. And then I get a tainted fusing every same about 10, 15 maps. Sometimes I get really lucky and I can drop like 2 tainted fusings in one map, plus I drop the fortunate, or I drop fracturing shards and the fortunate and fusing. So it has a lot of potential because you're farming for multiple things. You're farming for the fortunate, you're farming for tainted fusing, you're farming for fracturing shards, plus you're also farming for loot goblins, plus the generic gumball currency that you get. So it's several multi-tier layers of potential loot that you can get. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to go ahead and throw up this video. This is the strategy that I'm doing. It has relatively low investment and it's relatively easy to do. So I figured it'd be a good starting point if anyone's struggling making currency this league, because the only guides I've seen are for you to do like beast and essence, and that's just boring. So this is fun because it has that dopamine hit of when you drop a fracturing shard, when you drop the card, when you drop a Tainted Orb of Fusing. I've also dropped Raw Divines. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with this and future content. And until next time, take care.